Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Plant Based with Nicole podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Roche, also known as Plant Based Nicole Roche on Instagram and TikTok. Y'all know what to do. Go follow me over there. Today, I will be interviewing a lovely guest of mine. His name is R.L Malpica, and I hope I'm saying his last name right. He is very inspiring. I started watching him on YouTube, and I was just really interested in him. I had to reach out to him because I just love his content. He's amazing. Being plant-based for 7.5 years and eating 90% raw, I've experienced transformative results firsthand, losing 30 pounds and overcoming eczema, IBS, and chronic headaches. Through my journey, I'm passionate about helping others unlock their potential for optimal health and well-being by reconnecting with nature and the wisdom of simplicity. I'm very excited to interview him and tell his story. He has an amazing transformation and so many good things to share with us today. So without further ado, let's bring on R.L Malpica. Well, thank you, R.L, for joining me today. I'm so excited to have you on my platform. I started watching you on YouTube and I was inspired. So then I went to Instagram and started following you there. And I love your content. So I had to bring you on here. I love your transformation and all the good things that happened to you once you started embarking on this way of living. So can I ask what RL stands for, or is that personal?
No, it's not personal at all. It's my initials. My first government name is Ramon. My middle name is Luis. So it was easier just to go with RL, kind of, and just, I've been rolling with that for so many years now. It's become like my name. So
RL, RL in the house. Okay. Sure, well, before we start, I have some categories and I'm going to say them and you're going to say what comes to your mind the first,
fun.
First. You got to be fast. Ready? Okay. Fruit salad.
Amazing.
Huh?
Amazing.
No. I'm sorry. Oh, I see what you're doing. No. I'm sorry. You pick one.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. Let's go with fruit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tofu Beyond Burgers.
Tofu.
Cardio weights.
Cardio.
Greens supplements.
Greens.
Berries watermelon.
That's a tough one. Berries.
Collards kale.
Kale.
Yay, you passed.
That was fun.
Oh, and I get what you were doing. You're just thinking like, what comes to your mind when you hear that? And you said amazing.
Yes. I was like, fruit salad. Yummy. I'm hungry.
So let's get into it. So, okay, you've been eating plant-based for 7.5 years, 90% raw. Like, what inspired you to start plant-based lifestyle 7.5 years ago?
Well, kind of like throughout my entire life, I have always felt that if I was ever going to ascend spiritually, just to be a better person, like, get to my highest self and be the best version of myself, that eventually I would have to give up eating, living, walking creatures. And I just felt very strongly about that. And that was really, that's always been something that's motivated me to get there. But if I were to say the one thing that just pushed me over the edge, it was actually my daughter. She's 25 now, but at the time, I think, 7.5 years ago, she was like 17, 18. She went vegan. And she had me watch a couple documentaries, and I watched them with my wife. And we were inspired then just to kind of learn some more knowledge about it. And we were also having a baby at the time, and we made the conscious decision as conscious parents that we wanted to raise her the same way. And we just went, we just did it right then and there.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm sorry. Do you have a 25-year-old and a baby?
A 25-year-old. Now she's 7.5.
Now she's 7.5. Right. I'm like, wait a minute. No, he said 7.5. Okay, so she's 7.5. Oh, okay, that's amazing. Yeah. So, you overcame a lot of things like eczema, IBS, chronic headaches. Oh my God, I know all about chronic headaches. How long were you suffering with those before you started this lifestyle? And then how long did it take before you actually saw the healing take place?
For sure. My entire life, like the IBS was something that I've dealt with, since I can remember as a kid. always having stomach issues. And then the eczema started really hitting kind of like my teenage years. Um, and it would just be in everywhere you can think of on my body. I would get eczema from my eyelids to behind my
Oh
ears to literally
goodness.
every every crevice, every possible place in my body.
And
Um,
that's a miserable thing to have. My well, I don't like to say step, but my bonus grandkids have it, and it just
yeah.
always makes me feel so sad that they have to, it's miserable.
It's so irritating, especially, not only, the way it feels, but sometimes the way it looks,
Hmm.
I'd have this eczema on my eyelid and it looked like I just went 12 rounds with, Tyson or
Oh,
something because my
oh my,
eyes just kind of hanging like this because of eczema and,
oh no.
so that aspect of it too. But the chronic headaches is something that I've dealt with, and I think that's generational because I know my mother deals with it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pain, and to the point where I was living, I shouldn't say living on ibuprofen, but I took it way too much.
Yeah.
So as far as how long it took for those things to change, it was a kind of progression because I started off vegetarian, right? To where,
Okay.
how I shouldn't say most people, but a lot of people, when they transition from eating meat to a plant-based diet, they look for like alternative meats and stuff like that, and I was
Right.
living on a lot of those foods, and I saw my issues, my ailments, subside substantially, definitely subside, but I didn't see the full actual healing and curing of those situations until I went mostly raw. And
Oh,
once I did that, that's where the big transformation came into play.
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, how long after you started plant-based, did you go to the 90% raw?
It's been about almost 3 years.
So about 4 years after.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Okay.
I was I
Okay.
was mostly veg. I mean, I was really vegan with some vegetarian tendencies. I like to say
Hmm.
once in a while I would,
Hmm.
partake in some dairy, but then I've really eliminated that. And now I'm starting to see just, yeah, tremendous effects. Like from the headache standpoint, like the only time I ever get a headache is if I'm on my computer way too long. And that's just because my eyes are getting tired.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than that, no headaches, no eggs. The only time I get eczema is because eczema itself, I mean, your skin is like your third kidney, right?
Mm.
It's going to get rid of the over acidity and the toxicity in your body, especially if your kidneys are backed up for whatever reason. And that's what was going on. And the only
Yeah.
time I ever see any type of eczema is if I were to eat cooked food, and then it might
Oh,
it might come up. But other
really?
than that, it's just, yeah, it's pretty much it's subsided. Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's
then the
really
weight
good.
loss, weight loss too. I mean, I've lost roughly 30 pounds since I went
Yeah.
raw. When I was mostly vegetarian, like I was gaining weight actually.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, you could still eat too many. The weight loss all comes down to how much you're consuming versus how much you're burning. So you can eat. I mean, I have been eating plant based for 14 years and fully plant based,
Hmm.
and I just recently lost weight, but I was bigger than I was when I first started. Like I get my eat on. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because, I don't just eat tomatoes and lettuce, you know what I mean? Like
Right, right.
there's so much, variety in this diet. So people could still gain weight,
Hmm.
but so when you went raw, I mean, sorry, 90% raw, you lost the 30 pounds.
Yeah, yeah, and the main part of that is water. Like when
Hmm.
you eat majority cooked, your body is going to hold water. You're going to suffer
Hmm.
from edema one way or another. You're going to be dehydrated one way or another. And when the majority of the food you eat is water based, water soluble fruits and salads and things of that nature, your body doesn't have to hold that water anymore, and you just
Hmm.
see this weight just go.
It's
And I
releasing,
just, oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And I saw that
release.
firsthand, and it's been great.
So it just flushed on out of there.
Yes,
Phew.
just like
Well,
just
that's
like that.
good. 30 pounds. That's great.
Yeah,
Congratulations on
thank you,
that. That's
thank you.
a good amount of weight. Are you good with where you're at now, where you're just maintaining now?
I have a goal in mind. I want to lose roughly about seven more. to
Mm-hmm.
get to where I feel really comfortable. I exercise and I work out as well, so that's a part
Yeah.
of it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy. I feel great. Like I said, when you grow up with all those ailments and those issues, and you're told constantly that the only way to fix that is medication and steroid creams
Mm.
and ibuprofen and things of that nature, and then you realize that no, that's not the case, and you uncover what the true foundation of health is. It's like an eye opening moment. You know what I'm saying? And it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
That's wonderful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I
Oh,
just
for
had a
sure.
thought when you were talking. I had something I wanted to say that I just forgot. So I guess
Happens to me a lot.
hopefully, yeah, I hate that. Hopefully to come back. But that's amazing. So how were you eating once you went 90% raw? Like what's a typical day look like that helped you lose this weight, that helped you heal all these ailments and everything? Like a
For
typical
sure.
day. I know it could change daily,
Yeah.
but just a sample.
Yeah, I mean, I'm majority fruit based. I want to get to the point where I'm about 50-50 leafy greens with fruit. But my main day looks like this. I do implement intermittent fasting, so I don't start eating
Mm,
till noon, and I stop eating by 8 p.m. Usually earlier than that, but that is the latest that I will eat. And what that looks like is my first meal of the day at noon is usually a fruit based meal, roughly about 600 calories. So something like 4 oranges, 2 apples, maybe some strawberries. That's what I've been on lately. If it's in melon season, I'll do like a half a watermelon to kick off the day, something like that. But that's only if it's in season, because otherwise they just don't taste right. And
I
then,
know.
I wait a couple hours, and then I'll either have another fruit meal, or I will have, I like to eat leafy greens by themselves. Not that I have anything against salads, but I like to just get a bunch of leafy greens and just snack on them. Just eat some romaine lettuce leaves and just
Hold
eat them.
up now. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. You just eat lettuce leaves by themselves?
Straight up by themselves, yes. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, like well, yeah, I'll soak them in water, to make sure they get clean and all that good stuff. And they're so crunchy anyway, and they're so like refreshing to just snack there and
Hmm.
eat. And they're from a caloric standpoint, they're nothing. You know what I mean? But the amount of minerals and everything you're getting is just
Yeah.
tremendous. And I'll just sit there and snack on them. My wife,
You're
she
funny.
she'll do she eats it more than I do. But yeah, I eat a lot of them. That's a big snack for me. And then for dinner, I would do either. I did a lot of smoothies in my transition, a lot of smoothies, fruit-based smoothies, or I'll do another bowl of fruit, or if it is a part of that 10%, I would do a cooked meal. So, and my cooked
Okay.
meals are very, very basic. I shouldn't say basic; they're very flavorful and tasteful. But as far as like,
Easy.
I'm into like Mediterranean, Asian,
Mm.
Eastern type of foods. So usually something in that vein if I'm eating a cooked meal.
Mm. That sounds yummy. You make it you said you make it yourself, like
So,
Mediterranean food and stuff?
sometimes, yeah, I love making hummus, falafel. I like making falafel. Um, but or we'll go out once in a while to eat, and we have our little
Yeah.
little establishments that we like.
There's lots of vegan options out there, especially with cultural restaurants. I find that
Yes,
cultural restaurants are the easiest to eat as opposed to like American restaurants or steakhouses. I mean,
100%.
yeah, they might have something you can eat, but is it fun?
Usually,
You know what
usually
I
it's
mean?
it's like six sides, you know.
Yeah, it's like, whack. I mean, I'll go
Right,
there if I have to if I'm compromising with someone to go somewhere.
for
But
sure.
if it's my choice, I'm gonna go to a cultural restaurant or a vegan restaurant. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, where I live, the because I live kind of in the country part of Texas, and there's not a lot of vegan restaurants, so
Mm,
we have to like really sift through and find our little spots.
yeah.
Yeah,
And there's some out there. We
yeah,
make it work, you
for
know?
sure, for sure, always.
We plant-based eaters make it work. So, just to go back real quick. So when
Yeah,
you said 7.5 years ago, you started off plant-based,
yeah,
you meant plant-based literally as the dictionary says, because plant-based means you eat a lot of plants, but you could still eat like fish and stuff. So you were still doing that until the
No, not
for
fish. No, no
okay,
fish.
just like maybe eggs or cheese or something.
Yes, yes, eggs and
Okay.
cheese for a while, and then I started to wean off of that as well.
So
Yeah.
you were plant-based as the dictionary does call it, and then you went fully plant-based 3 years ago and 90% raw.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Because nowadays the plant-based word, um, we have to like I have to be like for my podcast and stuff when
Yeah.
I ask people I usually say are you fully plant-based, but you have to be specific because like not you but I'm just
Yeah.
saying people because plant-based means plant-based, you eat a lot of plants and stuff but that don't mean you eat fully plant-based, you know what I mean, like you can still
Yeah.
eat. So like you were plant-based
Yeah.
but then you became fully plant-based 3 years ago.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just like my husband, he's not fully plant-based, but he is plant-based.
Yeah.
According to what do they call that dictionary? What is it called? Or according to Google, actually.
Yeah. There you
You
go.
know, he
Google
eats a lot of
Webster or
plants.
something. You know,
Yeah,
one of
he
those.
eats a lot of plants.
Yeah.
He eats a lot of plants, but he still eat all the hardcore meats and stuff. We're gonna
Yeah.
work on him. No, I'm just
Hey,
like
it's all a process, right?
yeah. But he does eat. I do appreciate that he does eat like a lot of plant foods, and he's okay with when I cook because he knows I ain't cooking no meat. He
Right.
goes. He knew that before he married me. Like you cook your own meat. He knows it. He cooks it in the little grill in the patio when he wants it because he knows I don't
Okay.
like the smell in the house. Anyway, sorry, getting off track.
No,
Um,
no, I love it.
so that's how you were eating when you started healing your body, and that's how you eat now too.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. What advice would you give someone that's striving to maintain like a predominantly raw lifestyle that is having trouble, but like, really has desire to do it long term? What kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, no, I love that question. The first thing that always comes to mind, and I bring it up to everybody that I work with, and that is grace. Give yourself grace. Like
Hmm.
there's no, there's no, um, there's no time frame in which you got to get to that specific point. Give yourself grace. It is a tough transition. The world, society around you is not doing you any favors to help you along that path. And just to give yourself grace, take it day by day, baby steps. And at the end of the day, I really feel like it's a mental thing. There's a lot of mental barriers that have been put in place, conditioning that you're working through, and all those things. And understanding that aspect of it. If you work on that aspect, it will make it easier for you. Things like, in my opinion, meditation is great when it comes to making the transition because you can control those cravings, you can control those thoughts, you can
Hmm.
control those neurotransmitters every time you smell bacon or something like that. But yeah, though that would be the advice I would give, and also seek a community that is similar to the type of environment you want to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, having your having your tribe, your group of people, your plant-based Nicoles, your R.Ls. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the people that are going to help
Hmm.
you through this because
Yeah.
we all want to be associated with people that are like
Mhm.
that are like us, have similar interests and stuff.
Yeah. That accountability too,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
like-minded and just on the same page is really helpful. That's why like I'm on like a few different groups on Facebook, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like nice to because in my where I live, there's probably lots of people who eat this way, but I don't come in contact with them.
Right.
I only know my people, and they don't. Nobody eats like me except for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to feel like I'm a part of some groups that have the same way of eating as me,
For
even
sure.
if I can't really see them in person and stuff. It's just nice to be able to share and hold each other accountable and just to support and everything.
Yeah, like I have like one of my mantras is we all have a conscious choice, and it goes with the duality of life, and and pretty much everything comes down to the duality of life, good and evil, cold and hot and whatnot, right? Acids and alkaline, right? So
Hmm.
every time you're gonna make a choice in life, whether it's food or not, but we're talking about dietary, so let's keep it dietary.
Hmm.
You got to ask yourself this question, the conscious question: is what I'm about to consume for the betterment of me or the detriment of me? There's no middle
Huh.
ground. It's one or the other. It's either for the betterment of you or the detriment. And if you have that mindset going into every single day, every single meal, or try to at least, more often than not, you're going to go for the betterment. And, just kind of keeping
Yes.
that in the back of your mind will help as well.
That's a good. I like that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start saying that every time some little,
Go for it.
the little vegan ice cream comes around my way, or you know the
Yes.
vegan cookies. I'll be like, is this for the betterment or the
Yes, yes, yes.
I like that.
Thank you.
So how do you balance like a variety, and how do you balance variety and simplicity in your meals to keep the lifestyle enjoyable?
That is, man, that I would probably venture to say that might be the toughest part.
Mm,
Because, we just naturally get bored of stuff because food has
yeah.
become like entertainment for us as opposed to survival. But I go through phases. So, like, I'll go through like there's so many fruits in the fruit kingdom, right? There's so many vegetables in the vegetable kingdom, and I go through phases. I'll literally go a week or I shouldn't say a week, a few weeks at a time where I'm just on oranges and apples, and those are my things. And then I'll switch it up, and then it'll be bananas, and it'll be something else, right? Mangoes, and then I just try to keep it. And if you do it with kind of like the farming schedule and when some of the fruits are actually active and most producing, it makes it a little bit easier.
Mhm.
But to me, that's the way I have to do it. That's the way I
Yeah,
work on it. I do get tired of things sometimes, and then I'll just switch to another fruit or
that's
another
what I do.
vegetable or something.
That's what I do too. I go through my little phases. I get tired of something, so I switch it, and
Yeah.
then I'll get tired of that, and then I'll go back to the, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean, it's all within the, fully
for
plant-based life,
sure.
but it's just, I gotta switch up, and it's okay. Like you gotta change up, and sometimes, like I eat a high raw diet,
Hmm.
but there's certain seasons where like my body wants more cook, so
Yeah.
I'll give it that. If it wants more beans and rice and
Yeah.
more sweet potatoes during that season, I'll do that, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm over the cooked. I miss my higher raw, and I'll go back. You just
Yeah.
listen to your body. You gotta listen to your body,
and
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 don't.
in the cold season, like that's like when it's cold, and I don't know
Yeah,
what part of the world you live in, and I'm in Texas, but for some reason it's been snowing. It's
California.
Yeah, okay, okay. Oh, everything all right over there? I know that there's a lot of fires going
Yeah,
on and
that's
stuff.
Southern California. Yeah,
Okay,
they're
okay.
I live in Northern California, but I'm just keeping prayers up for
Yeah,
everybody out there. It's really
craziness.
sad. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, I live in California, and it's been cold out here too.
yeah.
So yeah, like,
Something about warm
but I
food when
have,
it's cold.
yeah, I haven't. Well, right now I'm doing a challenge with I already eat high raw, but during my challenge to myself was taking away, because I eat 20%. I call it 20% junk food, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I eat sometimes I'll have fully cooked meals. So during my challenge, I'm taking away the 20% junk, the fully cooked meals, and I mean fully, like beans, rice, and the
For
vegetable.
sure.
I might still have like some lentils in my salads or something. But anyway, oh God, what was I about to say? I don't know. But I eat a high raw diet, and I've been eating like cold stuff. I forgot what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna just say this because this is on my mind.
Yeah.
I've been eating like nice cream and smoothies and stuff, and I get cold and everything. So I just go on and get that little heater, and then put it next to me, get in a blanket, and eat my nice cream. I do you know what nice cream is?
Yeah, yeah. Blanket bananas.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, like I make it into like a ice cream consistency. So it's
Nice.
like I don't add any liquid because I use my food processor.
Mm,
But yeah, like it gets cold, but I'm not ready to, well, I'm doing the challenge, but even when I come off the challenge, I'm not in the mode of wanting my cook meals yet, like where I want to eat a
yeah.
lot of cooked foods. I'm just in this raw stage. I'm feeling it right now, and I
Hmm.
I go with it. I go with it. I just do whatever my body says to do. I don't ever force it or try to make myself do something that it's not wanting to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all still within the plant-based umbrella. So
That is what we like to call intuitive eating, and that is
yes,
amazing. Yes, I've been
yeah.
I've been I've been watching. I've been watching your challenge. It's pretty. Hey, you get me hyped up every time I see one of your
Aw.
videos pop up. I'm like, okay, all right, I need to get me some strawberries real quick. Okay, yeah. Yes, I love it.
That's funny. Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay, in your bio, you said you live by a philosophy called EAT,
Yes.
E-A-T, energy efficiency, avoid acid forming foods and toxicity. I like
Yes.
that.
Thank you.
Expound on that a little bit.
For sure, for sure. So, energy efficiency is basically energy return on energy invested. Our bodies, the way our bodies work, the digestive process is the biggest energy burden on our body. Every time we eat and digest food, it takes the most vital energy out of us. And when we are eating foods that are more I don't know, that cause slower metabolism basically. So it's going to be a lot of your obviously your meats, your fish, your starches. Most of your
Hmm.
cooked foods are going to they're going to have a higher burden on your body, and at the same time they provide less energy to your body than say fruits and raw foods do. So energy efficiency is making sure you're getting a high amount of energy and expending a low amount of energy. So it's kind of like your profit and loss system. You want to be on the higher end of it. When you eat, for instance, a watermelon, watermelon is the most energy efficient food on the planet because it digests extremely quick and
Hmm.
it provides a ton of energy. So the kicker to that is the more vital energy your body has, the more ability it has to heal. We're a self-healing organism, so from an energy efficiency standpoint, you want to eat the foods that are going to provide the most electricity and deplete you of the least amount of energy. So that's the E, the energy efficiency. The avoid acid forming foods. Those are going to be your meats. Those are going to be your dairy, your starches, fish, processed foods. Those are all acid forming in the body. And if you break down health and you break down where all dis-ease within the body stems from, it stems from over-acidity within the body. So if you're eating
Hmm.
alkaline forming foods, majority, and you're eating hydrating foods, then you allow your body to flush those acids out of the body and obviously have a much healthier life. And then the toxicity is kind of goes along with the acidity, but at the same time, it kind of ventures out of diet a little bit because toxicity could be everything from the amount of electricity you've got to EMFs to the people you keep to the things you
Hmm.
watch on TV to social media. I mean, those all fall under the umbrella of toxicity.
Yep.
So that's where the
People,
EAT comes from.
some of y'all need to get rid of them people you hanging out with, them toxic people.
Ooh,
Let them go.
let them
Get them
go.
out your life.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes you need to part ways. It ain't just about what
Yes.
we put in our mouths. Okay.
It is not.
It's it's the people. It's them some of them TV shows. It's some of that music. We
Oh,
put in our minds. Hello,
yes.
somebody. But yeah, thank you. I like that breakdown. That was a good.
Appreciate it.
Is that something you came up with? It is that like something that's in the.
No, it's me, 100%. And basically, like on my venture to being, to where I am today, like I've through my studies and reading and schooling and everything, I've taken all this information that I've received and built my own philosophy based off of it. Because look, in the natural health world, in the plant-based world, there are a bunch of different ideas, there are a bunch of different philosophies, and not everybody is on the same page. All we can do is take that information and basically build our own type of philosophy. And I've been applying my own philosophy to my life and just sharing the results. That's kind of like the foundation of my YouTube channel.
I love it. I love it, and that's how I found you.
For sure.
I was binge watching you one day when I
Oh, that's
first
what's
found.
up.
Yeah, I was just watching all the channels. I was like, okay, I like him. He's cool.
Appreciate you.
He got that knowledge.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you so much. This was great. Is
Hmm.
there anything you want to share, like in terms of, do you provide any coaching or do you have any services you want to talk about and talk about any platforms you want people to follow you or
For
check you
sure,
out
for
on?
sure. I do offer coaching. It's a case by case basis. If you want to reach out to me and need someone who wants to help you to guide you through the transition because it can be tough, I do that on a selective basis, just based on circumstances. But I do most of my teaching and my coaching, through my videos. Also, I'm going to be releasing an ebook next week It's actually going to release on.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's going to release on Wednesday. It is the Natural Reset. It is a beginner's guide to transitioning to health, and it's 100% what we've been talking about today. Like if you're looking to make changes wherever you are, I mean, it doesn't matter what part, it doesn't matter what you eat right now. It will meet you where you're at. It's 60 pages. It's very thorough, and that'll be releasing Wednesday. And it's going to be donation based, whatever feels right to you. So that's going to be releasing. You can get that on my webpage, www.theeatcoach the www.theeatcoach.com. Later in the year, I'll be releasing my first book, which is going to be called Detox Yourself: The Secret to Freeing Your Mind to Create a Healthier Life. That's going to really, it's going through the whole publishing aspect of it right now. So that'll be releasing later. And, as far as platforms go, my YouTube channel, if you're interested in this, if you're interested in learning more about the natural health, the terrain model, and the raw diet and my journey, as well as my philosophy, I'm at the Eat Coach on YouTube as well. Subscribe to my channel there. I usually have a new video every week. And then I'm also going to be doing a podcast with a good friend of mine, but he's a fitness and mindset coach, Keith Crowder. We actually don't even have a name for the podcast yet because we're waiting for the perfect name. We just ain't got it yet. But that should be releasing soon. And I know it says I'm got a million things going on, but
take your time.
I do host wellness retreats with 5 other individuals. So if you are someone who is looking to make a change, not just dietary, but life-wise, if you're struggling with anything, we put on a wellness retreat once to twice a year. You reach out to me, you'll be and follow me on socials. You will be able to see when we have a new one coming up. And our next one, I believe, is going to be November of 2025. So once those details come out, if you're following me, you'll be able to see that information too. Yeah.
Wow. Look at you. You got it going on. You busy.
2025 is going to be a big year. It's going to be big.
It's going down.
Yes.
It's going down.
That's the plan.
Yes. Well, you guys, make sure you guys go. I'll put everything in the description below. Make sure you guys go check out his book coming up on Wednesday, and then his soon-to-be book coming out in when did you say the other one?
I don't have an official release date, but it will be sometime later in 2025.
Okay, y'all just check him out. Just follow him on Instagram. Check out his YouTube. He'll keep you updated. Yeah, I hope you guys were all inspired by my guest today. He had a wonderful transformation, lots of wonderful wisdom he shared today, and I really appreciate that. And I do appreciate you for coming on today. It's always nice for me to interview people that I've been watching on YouTube or whatever. It's always nice to come together and just really not face to face because we're not in person, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much. I'm really happy about your transformation and your diet change and everything that's going on for you. And I wish you the best on all your upcoming wonderful things that are happening this year. 2025 is going down.
Yes.
And
yes.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you around.
Okay.
And thank you guys again for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you check them out. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.